So first thing I'm going to cover is what to do if a client lies to you. Okay, you guys ever have a client lie?
Yeah.
Okay. What's something that a client's lied about?
Every day, everything.
What's something that a
Uh,
client's lied
it
about?
was they can make their own financial decisions, and then
Okay.
it got down to getting their like bank information, and
Hmm.
then they're like, my daughter makes those decisions. I'm like, what?
Yep. So people lie. What's something else people lie about?
I had a customer that lied about the amount of time she had cancer.
Okay, it's an easy one to forget.
Not having the
Just kidding.
money.
Yeah,
They
not having money.
they
They lie
already have
about calling them
insurance.
back and saying that they're gonna for sure do it tomorrow. Just give me a call back, Jamise. I promise you I'll be ready tomorrow, blah blah. And then you call them back, they don't pick up the phone. They tell lies about like setting up callbacks for them to do something when a relative come back in the house or whoever they may need.
Oh
And
yeah.
then they'll just put you on the block list.
Yep. Yep. So buyers are liars. You guys ever hear that saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So here, let me do speaker. Okay, buyers are liars. That's a thing. So um there's a couple parts in the presentation where people will lie. Okay, there's a couple parts people will lie. One of them is in the beginning. So in the beginning of the presentation, you're gonna have people lie about already having insurance. You guys ever have that? Someone says they have insurance and they don't. Anybody have that? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a big one.
Yeah. So that's why we say the objection or the rebuttal. Hey, that's awesome. I'm not asking you to make any changes. Most of the people I speak with already have insurance. They find this pretty valuable and just keep moving through the PC. Like it doesn't even matter that they tell you, right? Keep moving through the script. Like it doesn't even matter that they told you. They'll also tell you that they're not interested when they are. So the first part that people are going to lie is right in the beginning. A lot of people are going to lie just because they're kind of scared to talk to you. Okay. So don't take anything that people say in the greeting as an objection, as something serious that you need to like put 100% truth and faith in that what they say is how it is. They can actually think they have insurance and they don't have anything at all. We've had that. We have it all the time where people think that they have insurance and they don't have what they think they have. So Alexandria is saying she's rebuttals that and they hang up, but you have to get good at it, right? So you have to practice the rebuttal. That's like saying like, yeah, I shot a 3-pointer in basketball, it didn't work. So we want to just keep practicing it. So when someone says that, I have insurance, hey, that's great. That's awesome. I'm not asking you to make any changes. Most people I speak with, they actually do already have insurance and they find this information pretty valuable. And then you immediately have to pick back up on the next part of the script. So immediately you would transit, no break hesitation at all. Now you shared in your request for information that you were born, okay? So there's no hesitation or pause between the rebuttal and the confirmation, okay? No hesitation or pause between the rebuttal and the confirmation. So it's just one smooth motion. A lot of you guys are going to get hung up on in the greeting if you say a rebuttal and then just stop. Any of you guys ever do that? Raise your hand if you've done that before. Yep. Yep. Right. Yep. Okay, happens. So we say it and then pause. So the incorrect way to do it is say, hey, no worries. Most people I speak with already have insurance, but they find this pretty valuable. Now you shared in your request for information. That's not it. You got to go right from one to the other and be slow and enthusiastic. Okay. They may hang up right when you go to the next part. That's okay. You can just, it may be tone, maybe ask them a question or try to pivot out of it, but with practice, it'll get better. All right. With practice, it'll get better. So people can lie in that part. They can lie about being busy. They can lie about not remembering to do this, all these things. So how do we handle liars in the beginning? Just follow what we train on and push through it. Okay. Follow the rebuttals and push through. That's all you got to do. It's not going to work on everybody. Okay. You can also ask them a question that will maybe engage them a little more. right? So, hey, I see you were born in December. Is that right? All right. Oh, you were born in April. Is that right? Okay, April this. So if you maybe if you sense someone might hang up on you, you can ask them like a little bit quicker of a question. All right. Okay. The next part they can lie in is about making decisions on their own. So someone can lie about in the part of the script where we ask about if they can make decisions on their own. We don't want to sell to someone who can't make decisions on their own. So what they'll do, they'll tell you, I can do this. And then all of a sudden you get to the close and they can't. So when that happens, you need to really like hammer these people with rebuttals and pressure them and like really dig in to get them to do it. Like, don't let off the heat because they either lied to you then or they're lying to you now. They lied to you before or they're lying to you now. I have no problem with high pressure sales. Some people do. Some people will talk about, oh, don't be high pressure, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to get them to do it because they should, right? I don't care, whatever. Be pressured. That's their problem, not mine. Right? I don't feel any pressure. They only feel pressure because they should do it. That's it. About not making a decision. As soon as they say no or yes, there's no more pressure. Nope, not doing it. Okay, pressure's gone. Yes, I'll do it. Pressure's gone. I don't know. I got to wait. The maybe is what makes them feel pressured. They're hung up on a maybe, right? So that's okay. If you ask, but you want to ask this a few different ways. Okay. Hey, so are you able to make decisions on your own, or does someone else help you make financial decision, like your husband or a family member? Oh, I can do it on my own. Okay. Have you ever bought insurance by yourself without your husband's help? Yes. Gotcha. So you can go out, do something, spend some money, sign up for something, and you could sign up for Netflix right now, and that would be okay. You wouldn't have to run it by him. You guys would be cool with that? Yep. All right. A lot of times, guys, when they tell you in the end that they have to talk to their spouse, it's not because they need their permission. They just don't feel sure about themselves making the decision. They're not comfortable enough to look at you as a reputable advisor, as a trusted advisor. Does that make sense? They're not going to their doctor like, oh, the blood pressure pill. Let me go ask my husband. She's not going to be like, let me go ask my husband if I should get on this. Unless her husband's a doctor. But she's going to be like, which if that's the case, they're probably not shopping for final expense insurance. So it's because they trust the doctor. The doctor has like ultimate authority in the space. So you have to become that authority. How do you do that? Build rapport, know what you're talking about, ask the right questions that build emotional urgency, that for them to talk about the emotions behind why they need to get insurance. Okay, so they can lie right there. They can say they make decisions on their own. They actually may be telling the truth, so that might not even be a lie. All right. So if people are saying yes right there, that they make decisions on their own, but then they're telling you in the close that they don't, it's a trust thing most of the time. Because every time I've had that other decision maker come in, they don't really make it's more of an influencer in the decision than a decision maker. Granted, we get some clients that are stupid. So like, they'll just be like, yeah, I can do it. And then they like, don't even realize what they're saying. And they're like, no, I can't at the end. Also, you get some people who have mental issues who say they can do it. And then they're like, oh, well, I got to wait for the help to come home. And it's like, what? They're like, yeah, I'm in this living place. And, so sometimes that happens, but just trust me, guys, if they tell you that, you want to ask a couple different ways too. Okay. So you can really narrow it down. Hey, do you make decisions on your own? Yes. Okay. Does anybody else handle your accounts or anything for you to pay your bills? No. Gotcha. You pay all your bills on your own. You take care of everything independently. You don't need anybody to like sign off. If you were to sign up for Netflix or something, you wouldn't have to ask somebody if you could sign up for TV. You're like, nope. All right, cool. In the close, remember, you're going to want to use our AIO rebuttals or use the rebuttals page. There's a bunch of AIO rebuttals on there that are pre-canned responses. Those are all agree, isolate, overcome rebuttals. There's just responses for you to say. Okay, if anybody's watching this on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications. And if you'd like to access my rebuttals page, it's only $39. You can click the link in the description of the video. So you want to really turn up the heat there, and you need to use the loop rebuttal too to help build trust. All right. So at that point, it's usually just a trust thing. They don't know which one to go with. And you can ask them that too. They're like, hey, I got to talk to my spouse about this. Go through the loop rebuttal that we have. If you don't know what that is, you can watch some of the videos we have on closing. Go through the loop rebuttal. If they're still giving you the pushback, hey, no problem. Now, if you did talk to your spouse, this is an agree, isolate, overcome too. Hey, I understand now. If you did talk to your husband about it, would he be more concerned about how much you're spending every month on it, or is it just, are you maybe unsure about getting the insurance at all, and you'd like a second opinion from your husband because, well, you trust him, he's your husband. You can ask someone that too. That's okay. Can you guys see how maybe some of those people who say they have to think about, or they have to talk to someone else, may just need a little reassurance that they're making the right decision? Reassure them too. Hey, look, even if you get this plan, it's totally malleable. Like, it's plastic. Like, we can increase, decrease, cancel, add, get another policy, whatever. And you can make changes to it. It's super basic. What can help with this is using Crankwheel as well. If you're getting someone who's at home alone, their spouse isn't there with them, and you use Crankwheel to present the features and benefits of the plan, showing them the brochure, that can help them be confident in the product that they're getting. But a lot of times, raise your hand if your spouse might have difficulty making decisions on their own sometimes without consulting you for things. Or then maybe you would want to just be like, hey, just want to run this by you. Is this a good idea? Right? Because you want to consult with some. I don't mean it in like a bad way. Right? So there's a lot of people do that. Not many people raise their hand, but I know some people like to do that. Right? They just be like, hey, want to do this? Is this cool? Does this sound good to you? Because we're strangers too, calling them. So we can't really be upset or offended if they want to talk to someone that they're related to or that they're married to about getting a policy. You see what I mean? You see what I mean, guys? Like, we called them on the phone as a stranger. Of course they're going to trust someone else more than us. Duh. You know, like, if they didn't, then that's cool, but we can't be surprised if they do. So we need to learn how to overcome that. That's another place where people will lie, or we may think they're lying, but they're not really even like, I got to talk to this person. I don't want to make any decisions without them. So try to take that point of view next time it comes down to the close, and hang in there. Okay. Hang in there in the close. I listen to some recordings where I think people hang up prematurely, and nothing bad's going to happen if you hang in there for a little longer. It takes some mental fortitude and resilience to keep asking someone for something if they're kind of shutting us down, because we're trained throughout our life to like not just keep pushing. I love all the SLS 360 backgrounds here too. Thank you. All right. They can lie about having a bank account, but they may not all the time. Next part, they can lie doing a policy review. They may say they don't have any coverage at all. And then at the end, they're like, well, I didn't tell you this, but I have a policy. All right. And they bring it up. Nothing you can really do about that. In that case, you'd have to maybe make adjustments to what you're looking to quote them based on what they say they have now, and maybe do a policy review at that point. Okay. As I'm going through this, if you guys write down questions, I'll answer them after. All right. Next, they can lie about their medications in their health conditions. Has anybody had anyone lie about health conditions? Anybody had clients lie about their health conditions? Okay. They may not even be lying. Seriously, they may just not know.
Or they forget.
Yeah. They could forget too. So they literally might not even know that they don't have it. And they could forget. Sometimes they're told, oh yeah, you just got some blood flow issues, but they have congestive heart failure. It's not just a little blood flow issue. Okay. Sometimes, oh yeah, you got pre-diabetes. That's not a thing. Right? It's like you can't prescribe someone medication. I don't think, I could be wrong, but I don't think you can prescribe someone for almost having a condition. You have to have it. Could be wrong, but if anybody knows that. Otherwise. So here, let me change this. All right. What the heck? Why is it not doing this? It's not doing anything. Okay. So they can lie about their health. Now, that's not that we can't control that. All right. They might lie about their health. They might tell us that they're totally healthy. They got nothing wrong with them. We found out they have HIV, cancer, all this other stuff. So in that situation, all you can do is ask the best questions possible in the health. They may lie, they may say that I'm not on any medications, then all of a sudden they got a laundry list. They may say that they're, really, they're in good shape, they're healthy height and weight, and they're not, or just answer all the health questions as no, and then they end up having a bunch of stuff. That happens, still go through. We want to assume that they are telling us the truth. Okay, we want to assume they're telling us the truth. But when we have to be ready at all times to pivot to another company. Okay. You have to be ready to pivot to another company. So what that means is if you apply, say they're like, I have nothing wrong, and you apply with Pioneer Preferred. And then they get declined or medications come up and all of a sudden they actually have COPD or diabetic neuropathy or something like that, and we have to pivot to another carrier. This is where it's important to learn your underwriting. Okay, we have videos on that, but you got to learn your underwriting. How do you figure out what people qualify for? Because you always want to have a backup plan. And don't look at it as a bad thing if someone gets rated down or something like that. You got to keep the client on the phone for the whole application. Okay, anybody here ever lose a sale because they didn't keep the client on the line for the whole application? So David, you keep clients on the line for the whole app, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wh-
you need to, guys. Sorry, go ahead, David.
I was gonna say whenever I first started, I didn't, but then Nate walked me through it.
But yeah, you really, really, really want to keep the client on the line for that whole application, because if something comes up at the end, you can just say, and you may know. So say it comes up and they're like, oh, have you ever been prescribed some inhalers? Not really a big deal. And if they're like, it'd be like, oh, something came up, you may have been prescribed some inhalers. It's not a huge deal to them, but have you ever been prescribed those? If they're like, oh yeah, or if they're prescribed a ton of inhalers and it says that they're probably going to have to go return a premium, modified death benefit, you want to be at a point where you can know, hey, COPD, I'm going to look at AHL Patriot standard or Secret standard issue and just pivot to those carriers to give them a day one. That's going to be, especially American Home Life Patriot, immediate benefit. It's the standard plan's immediate benefit kicks in the day they make their first payment. Better than the 2 to 3 year return of premium period with Pioneer for their standard plan. So you want to be ready to pivot, because you'd be like, hey, no worries. What I'm going to do, because you're on those inhalers, I think I can find a company that would actually be a little bit better of a fit for you. They're giving us some issues here with this approval, but absolutely no problem. We got another company. We're just going to go ahead and apply for AHL Patriot, go through and just be like, okay, so for this one, 10,000 for, and instead of 65 for 10,000, it's going to be 76. So we're going to apply for it and make sure that it gets approved for you here. And then just go through like it's no big deal. Right. And if they're like, oh, I can't spend that much. Okay, what we'll do, we'll apply for 65. It's going to be, $8,700 in coverage. No problem. Go through, just assume they still want it. Okay. Because it's like, has anybody here ever applied for a loan and you get a higher rate than you thought you were going to get, or maybe like, insurance costs more than you thought, you still get it. You still get the loan. A lot of times things are more expensive than they think they're going to be when you go to buy it. So, hey, whatever, no big deal. Look at it in a good way. Remember the focus. Can I make a friend? Can I help this person? Can I make a friend? Can I help this person? Okay, I can still help them. This is great, Miss Jones. I can still help you here. A lot of companies actually won't even accept this medication profile for this type of plan, but we're going to get you something that kicks in the day you make your first payment. This is great. It's with a company called American Home Life Patriot. They're one of the only companies in the country that will take these medications for an immediate benefit plan. So I'm really glad that I got you on the phone with me here today, because if you called a lot of other companies, you'd probably have to pay a lot more, and a plan would take 2 or 3 years to kick in full. Those aren't bad plans. Prepare them for having to go with that plan at some point, right? Those aren't bad plans, but obviously if I can get you something that kicks in the day, makes your first payment, that'll be preferable, right? Yes, great. Go through, assume the sale, pivot to another company. Okay. When I started, I would apply some people 3, 4, 5 different companies while they're on the phone with me until we got them approved. And if everything gets pending to home office, do a guaranteed issue sale recording. and be ready so that you just have it on file to submit, whether it's with Gerber or Sika or something like that. Okay. Just have it on file ready to submit in case everything comes back declined. All right. Now we don't want guaranteed issue, but it's better than nothing. So I would never end a call without having an app I knew I was getting paid on. None of this pending BS. Like, well, refer to home office. Let me see how it comes back. Because, you just spent all this time on the phone with the client and they're going to, our clients are so stubborn and a lot of them are immature. So if it's like, oh, you can't get insurance for what we said, they're going to kick and scream. I get my way. I don't want it anymore. And be like that. Right. Instead of being like, okay, yeah, well, I get it. I've had some stuff. And keep in mind too, guys, a lot of times if it comes up on the app that they had a bunch of meds, unless they're prescribed Donepezil or Aricept or another one, which are memory medications, I forgot what it is. Maybe I should get on it too. But there are some new memory medications out. I forget, maybe Cogentin is one of them. I don't know. Maybe that's something else. But if they're on that, obviously we know why they didn't remember their medications, right? Because they're on a memory medication. But, yeah. So they can lie in that point too. So just be ready to pivot to another app. Now, in the greeting, I'm going to go back to the greeting real quick and I'll take any questions. It's very important, guys. Do not ask someone what they have for insurance when they tell you they have insurance in the greeting, in the introduction. Please, 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 please. Because if they lie about having insurance and then you ask them what they have, they just have to create another string of lies. And it doesn't even matter right there. Don't skip steps. Don't do a policy review before the confirmation, rapport building, stuff like that. Also, if you'd like a copy of my script, please email me at the email in the description of the video. It's jve@thejve.com. This is for people watching on YouTube, guys, because I'm going to post this. And if you'd like to work with us here, if you feel like this is the type of training that maybe you need to be successful as an agent and you're not getting it where you are now, you can shoot me an email and also a text message at 774-606-6847, 774-606-6847. Okay, so any questions about that, about fibbing on, yeah. Sarah.
Justin, I have a question.
Yep.
So keeping the customer or the client on the phone, and let's say they're not approved on the spot with Pioneer, and we go to UHL or American Home Life, as you had mentioned. What if they're e-checks? How does that work with us stopping the payment from going through?
Good question. So what she's asking is, if you submit an e-check for the client and it comes back and it's declined, then you have to send an email to SLS New Business. So new business at senior-lifeservice.com. Urgent, like asterisk, urgent, asterisk, stop payment, and then just put the application number in there. Explain the situation. This was an e-check. It got declined. I'm going with another company. Please make sure they stop the draft. And you can also email Pioneer, or you can try to do a live chat with Pioneer through the portal to let them know too. If you go in
new business.
Yeah, new business at senior-lifeservices.com.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm going to show you guys, and anybody watching this who's not with us, we sell Pioneer Security Life, which is it's American Amicable. That's just our proprietary product with them. My password is 166 days old. Yay. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys something cool here, something nifty that American Amicable has. It's called a live chat. Okay, if you've never seen a chat in its natural habitat, it's live right here. All right, we're looking at a dead chat, a live chat. So also, if you don't get dad jokes in your training now, then you can join up because we got them aplenty. So what we do, we'd go to new business and marketing support. So this is really cool, guys. So this is a live chat with Pioneer's back office. So, if some of you guys just need a friend, by all means, reach out to them. Or maybe if you need to help with enforce policies. Hey, my client missed their third payment. What's up? SLS will actually help with a lot of this. So they actually want us to email our back office, but you can do a risk assessment, or you can do, you can do risk assessment or new business and marketing to support to explain what happened. But Risk assessment is something else, which is really cool. You can go, you put your name, email, agent number, last 4 of your social, and it'll pull up a chat with Pioneer, and it will, it's really cool. So someone will pop in and you can just tell them the client's medical conditions. If you have a question about underwriting and like say no SBCs available or something, but could you please provide this? So client's info, product, tobacco, age, weight, gender, current prescription information, medical history, occupation for term or universal life, any additional information. So if you type all that right there, then they'll say you should apply for this plan. That's direct from American Amicable's back office. Pretty cool, right? So we have the ability to chat with them directly here. So it's huge. If the SBCs are busy, right? These guys literally slave away all day. Well, they don't slave, they get paid, but you know what I mean? They're here all day closing sales. So sometimes they may not be able to answer. Go in there, ask them. But if you do submit a sale and it's an e-check, meaning it's a draft cash with application, that's what e-check means, guys. They're paying today. You'd have to see if they can fix it. If not, email SLS. And if they draft it and then we go with another company, we can always D1P the second company, okay? All right. Any other questions?
Question.
Yeah.
I had one in the chat.
Okay, I got you. Go ahead, Greg.
Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
I know with like GuideStar and or Patriot, you get approved first before you put in the credit card, or the banking information. That's not true. I have never read an American Amicable, so I don't know. That's not true of them.
Well, we get the card information and we get the account routing number and we do a voice signature. And then when we submit the application for approval, we have the voice signature attached. And on the application, we say you can draft a payment today, like draft a cash with application, because the way they do it, it's called the conditional receipt, guys. It means that if so say they get approved for another policy, their coverage is in force because they paid today. So that's why they do it. So after we submit the app, Greg, there's really no going back to be like in the application to be like, oh no, don't do this. I don't want it. So we'd have to let them know like, hey, withdraw.
Okay, cool.
Yep. That's if it gets pending to home office for whatever reason. So if it goes through, guys, and you don't get approved Pioneer, then yeah, sometimes also things will come up on their medical history and they're like, no, I wasn't that, or maybe they don't even remember. Be like, client doesn't remember taking this. You want to put notes in there too on the application for American Amicable or Pioneer Security Life. Say that inhaler came up that they forgot about. So you remember taking an inhaler? Have you ever taken one for allergies or bronchitis or something? Oh yeah, that was when I got COVID in 2021. They gave me an inhaler. I haven't had anything since. Say, okay, cool. Put in the notes on the application on the end, the last page. It says, would you like to provide more information? Client prescribed an inhaler for COVID in 2021. Hasn't had any complications since. Totally fine. No inhalers since. No permanent lung damage or anything from COVID. Applying for the preferred plan. So Tyree wanted to see how we get to that again. You go to pioneersecuritylife.com and you log in. And it's just here. You go to live chat on the homepage for pioneersecuritylife.com. All right.
Is that the same page where we write the applications, or that's a different page?
Different page.
Different page. Okay.
This is where you access your in-force policy. So if we click on agent e-file right here, and then we're going to click our client list, view all. This shows like all the policies that I ever wrote with Pioneer. There's a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yep. Chris.
Yeah, I have a question. So yesterday I got a thing saying that because I had one of mine from Gerber, I believe that was closed, because they were supposed to have a payment taken out.
Mm-hmm.
And then today I got one that said canceled.
Gerber got canceled?
Well, it just says gross cancellation.
Oh, from what carrier?
I believe that was Gerber.
Okay, that's okay. So here we're gonna pause on that real quick. I'll answer that. Does anybody else have any
Oh.
other questions about this right here that I was covering? Someone lying on the app. All right, cool. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this helps you, and watch the next video. Thank you.